think Sitaram Goel, in his book How I Became a Hindu, he quotes about how he met Dr. Koenraad Elst before he was doctor. He was searching for a few books. When he wanted more books, then somebody referred Koenraad Elst to Sitaram Goel. Sitaram Goel was not a scholar in the regular MA in history. He was not a PhD in history. He was not a professor in history. But he changed the course of Indian history. If today we are standing, including Bhairappa Savarna, he is indebted immensely, without any doubt, to the original sources of Sitaram Goel and Ram Saroji. And of course, other writers, including David Foley, Koenraad Elst, K.S. Lal, and all. I would not have standing here if there was no Sitaram Goel. But the beauty of Indian society is that we forget our gurus. I must say that. Because there are so many acharya, there are so many bodies in Vedic society has taken the task and they have conducted seminars on Sitaram Goel. I'm very happy. But across India, in the year 2020, forget about COVID, there were chances to do online programs. Except for few programs in which Dr. Elst participated online, there were not much, but we are yet to acknowledge. Today, people like Romila Thapar are not so confident to speak about Aryan invasion theory. That is the single dedicated work done by this non-profit organization or a publication called Voice of Human. They are not funded by any government, either left or right or center. With what difficulty? He was a cloth merchant. So this is a dedication, my speech is a dedication for 2-3 minutes to Sitaram Goel. If Dr. Elst is there here, it is because of Sitaram Goel. He is definitely a great. Whatever he went back after the Ayodhya trip and all, then Sitaram Goel asked him to produce a manuscript, and within no time he quotes Sitaram Goelji, the child prodigy about Dr. Elst. He says in his book, because I can remember each and every line written by Sitaram Goel, either in Hindi or in English. That much I have dedicated my eyes to Sitaram Goel. So he came and he gave a not new perspective. Basically, he gave a new perspective. It is the story of valor. Indian history is the story of valor. It is the story of knowledge. It is the story of giving back. It is the story of asking questions. It is the story of I differ with you. That right now there was a debate about the concept of sati. So that is the way the Hindus and the Indians will do. So that tradition was revived without the help of UGC, without the help of planning commission, without the help of any other regular government bodies. That shows that till that bija, that germination seed somewhere exists in the Indian consciousness, which time and again is ready to come up and take its new avatars. But only that we should be there to receive it. So therefore, this program reminds me of all that. And Ram Saroji is such a yogi, who is a very important yogi cum scholar after Sri Aurobindo. Very clearly I am telling after reading Aurobindo's all the words, more than 35 volumes. He has written many books. I recommend one book, it is Hinduism. On Hinduism, in that the first chapter is there. He has literally meditated, done dhyana on the very crisis of Hinduism and Hindutva and Hindu people. And he has given aphorisms, like sutras, I think 45 or less than 50. What it means to be a Hindu, what it means to be Hindutva, what is the core of Hinduism, all that he has codified in less than 50 paragraphs. If we are scholars and seekers of knowledge in Ananda and Jnana, if we take each paragraph and work in that direction, we can produce what not. That much of knowledge is given by Rishi, Ram Saroji, in seed form. So these are the two people. They used to say when understanding through Islam through Hadith, and another one on the meaning. There is a book called The Word. When he has written that book, Ram Saroji, it is all about our devatas. 1,000 names of Vishnu, 1,000 names of Durga, Kali. So wonderful book actually. Read it. And also his treatment of Islam and Christianity from the Hindu yogic point, Hindu view of Islam and Christianity. It is purely written from yogic viewpoint. It's a wonderful contribution to Indian philosophy, Hindu philosophy. Our philosophy departments are till now unaware of it. Being a Hindu who knows more than prayers, dhyana, meditation, how Islam looks like to me, how Christianity looks like to me from my perspective, that is given by the person who practices yoga. When Sitaram Goel has done with Stalins and Maos and whatnot, Lenins, then Ramswarup advises him to do a kind of Visarjana of the Asuri Shaktis. Visarjana. We do the visit. Voice of India, externally it was in a re-establishing the truth about history. Internally it was in a yogic research. The real sense of the term, which we are not able to recognize still now. And few books are already published in Canada, but not of Dr. Koenraad Elst. Just to conclude, there are many nice books, wonderful books written by Sitaram Goel in the today's context of Hindu Dharmic wars. Perversion of India's political parallels. It's a book written, just a small booklet, we can say just 65 pages. In that, with index, all the books of the Voice of India will be with index, and the 40 pages or 100 pages. Means how meticulously they have done the work with the evidence which exists within the text. He says in this article, in one of the articles, Sitaram Goel, about the place of Mahatma Gandhi. As Dr. Elst was mentioning about the place of Ashoka and Buddha, normally it will blur our vision about entire Indian history sometimes. Here, when the question comes to take on Islam and Christianity in its real true colors, right now we have completed Christmas and New Year, that's right? So then comes the figure of Gandhiji. So that is the point. He has made a very, very balanced, very truthful analysis. Of course, there was a difference, intellectual difference between Sitaram Goel and Ramswarup as far as Gandhiji was concerned. Even with Dr. Elst and Sitaram Goel, means the newer and newer generation, they are having more and more distance with the Gandhian thought process. So, in this article, the place of Mahatma Gandhi, because this is the one single question or one signal question, not addressing, we will not be able to talk directly about Hindutva or Hinduism. Because it is again and again it comes. Here, the name of the article is Place of Mahatma Gandhi. I request everyone to read this one, particularly this article. Here he says that however is the story of Hindu society in its centuries-old encounters with Islam, means we have understood Islam in a very wrong way. Means it is not only the problem of Gandhiji, it is also the problem of Hindu society at large. He quote Sitaram Goel. Hindu society has always viewed Islam through the eyes of its own spiritual traditions. We have a wonderful Jain, Buddhist, Vedic traditions. We are all very meditative people, very dharmic people. We view everything from the point of our own dharmic viewpoint, our own dhyana or yoga perspective. Islam had shown its full face to Hindu society quite early, not only in devil dance of its swordsmen, but also in the pronouncements of and prolific writings of its mullahs, Sufis, and historians. But Hindu society had all along failed. Please mark the words, failed to draw the right conclusions. None of our acharyas, till Swami Dayananda Saraswati, have spoken about Islam. It's already documented by Sitaram Goel in his book Hindu-Christian Encounters. But Hindu society had all along failed to draw the right conclusions. It had continued to regard Islam as a religion. Religion. The folly has persisted till the present time, particularly in what passes for a Hindu movement. Till today, when there is a rise in the Hindu movement, there is a voice for the Hindutva movement, still our ignorance about Islam is unpardonable. We will pay for it. We are going to pay for it as the days are rolling. Because this is no longer a spiritual or an intellectual debate. This is a real-time debate. This is a real-time happening. The Nupur Sharma case or the other cases which are very evidently Every day they are showing it. Therefore, we have to really something like what Bertrand Russell has done to Christianity. Why I am not a Christian, or on being agnostic. See, agnosticism also has a place in religion, in philosophical discussion. Nastikata has also a point in the religions, in the history of religion. Therefore, to create more and more non-believers within Islam. Why I am not a Muslim? There are books actually, Ibn Barak and others have written books actually, Anwar Sheikh and all, but not by Indian people who reside in this world. If we are not going to increase, already has told about the rising Hindu population, which is a distant possibility. So, this is the real context of the Hindus. When we say, people like me or people like him or others, people say, no, don't act like doomsday sayers. Our society is so glorious. Our society has come back. It has resurrected. Please remember, all the story was good before the advent of Islam. Now the Islamic forces, they are rising in Europe. England has become already London Islam. The mayor, including the mayor. They are doing the mosque prayers in Trafalgar Square. So the situation is not so rosy as we Hindus who are sitting in Dharmakshetra and talking. The world has become Kurukshetra for the Hindus. Thank you.